Welcome to Flash Club. We'll start there, where we read a piece once a week and discuss the piece and how it works within the realm of Flash. And then we have a little writing exercise because that is our mantra. We practice writing. Oh, Ross. And I got distracted by that. Sorry. And then we do some writing based on the piece that we've read, usually. And that is what Flash Club is. Welcome. And hello, Ross. So today we're reading.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome back.
Ross.
Um, Welcome to Flash Club. This is your first Flash Club, isn't it?
Well, I eavesdropped, you know,
Oh,
kind of
Oh.
incognito.
see, this is exactly why we're on Zoom now.
Mm-hmm.
We get to
Yeah,
interact.
this is a kind of a different change.
Yeah. This is what we
Uh,
started Flash Club with, and then we moved to live, and now we're back here. So
okay.
very good to see you.
Yes. Why is it daylight where you are at?
I'm in California, so
Oh,
it's five
okay.
o'clock.
What
Um,
part of Cali?
I'm in South Lake Tahoe, so on the border of
Oh,
Nevada. Yeah, up in the
okay.
mountains.
Oh, I know where it is.
It's gonna start snowing next week, and I'm very upset about it.
Well, you guys had a pretty crummy year
Yeah,
season.
everyone else is happy about it. I'm not. They're like, more snow. I'm like, I thought it was summer. Hence the clothing and the sunburns. Okay, so today we're reading um the first word by Melissa Llanes Brownlee. She is a native Hawaiian writer living in Japan and has fiction in the Citron Review, Waxwing, Milk Candy Review, Claw and Blossom, Bending Genres, the Lumiere Review, Micro Podcast. She was selected for Best Small Fiction 2021, and she's also the judge of the Fractured Lit contest that I mentioned a couple weeks ago, which is called the Ghost Fable and Fairy Tales Prize. And so I asked her if we could use this piece, and she obliged, which is wonderful. So thank you, Melissa. Um, it's very short, so I think maybe just one of us could read it. Do you guys want me to read it, or would anybody else like to read it? Nina put it in the chat for us. So thank you,
Or
Nina.
you could popcorn it, I guess.
We could do like it's only like 8 lines, if that.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
I'll go. I'll do it. Does that sound good?
Okay.
Okay.
All
Yeah, go
right.
for it, Leah.
Yay.
The first word. The wrong dress, floral and pink, worn to a failed interview for a school she will never be able to enter, dumped in the Goodwill box. The torn song sheet from a missed audition because her mother forgot to pick her up, burned and buried behind the house. The portable CD player she'd bought with her own birthday money, stolen by her sister to use in her new car their parents bought because she was dating a quarterback and needed a car for cheerleading practice and a part-time job. The broken lock diary her brother ripped from her hands to tease her about her first crush. His cruel words burned red as the heart she'd drawn, tossed in the trash after his fun. The fantasy books she borrowed from the library, used to hold up the couch her dad insisted he would fix before they were due. The old typewriter, a gift from the aunt who lives too far away to know, resold to an antique shop before she could even type. So, first thoughts, reactions, emotions, feelings, thoughts.
I have a lot of opinions about this one, but I would love to have somebody else
I have
go before I just unleash.
before you unleash, I have an something I noticed about this piece that I think our club recently has been drawn to stories that use the negative space as a craft tool a lot. Ron's piece because she could because she didn't see things. It kept repeating because she didn't clue into this, she didn't clue into that. Um, then the stalking piece, the lions we never really saw. We just have to intuit them from this negative. And I feel when I read this, I feel like a negative space. Like there's a through line of like disappointment that we have to pick up on by each vignette, basically. And that goes into the second thing I noticed is that each one of these lines is a separate vignette that in like a longer form, would be a chapter in a novel. And so the compression in this, I think is a great craft tool, how she used compression. And then I have one question that I didn't quite, where it didn't land or I didn't quite pick up on is the title. I need help with the title.
Yeah, I saw the same thing, that there's like a current, an invisible current underneath all of these. When you said negative space at first, I was trying to figure out where that would be, and then you said there's a thread, and I realized, yeah, that was the note I'd made too, is that there's something living underneath it that we don't see. But the title, yeah, I feel like when I first saw the title, I expected a very different piece, and then I was kind of searching for the first word throughout it. I don't know. What does anybody else think before I go off?
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with the title doesn't really connect with what the story is about. And you know, yeah, definitely. I mean, it might have been even, I almost want to say that I don't know if she's stream of consciousness going through starting with one tile with one concept, but then ended up writing something different. I definitely have done that before. Uh, and what was stood out to me most, I don't know if you guys got this, but it's the items in her life that pop up and the conjure, not only just the imagery she evokes, but the taking her to a memory or place. And then also compounding that is these items are attached to a relationship, you know, and the people in their lives. That's super important. But I do get that what Bill was saying about the condensation, that kind of compaction of all these things kind of at once. It is like um, stream of consciousness in a way for me, because she's going from one item to another pretty rapidly in the reader's mind. So that also was a little, for me, a little hard to keep up with, even when it was like, it's nice that you narrated it because it has a different flavor when you hear it as opposed to reading it. So, and then doing it at the same time. So,
Well, even because of the form, yeah, it's so easy to get lost in it.
right.
Because what I did is I broke it up and highlighted it, and that's one of the ways that I could understand exactly what was going on.
And I take great offense personally that she doesn't say auntie instead of auntie. And, because if you're anyone from
Yeah,
Hawaii, you say auntie. Yeah. So
I'm
anyway,
glad that wasn't me, and it says aunt. I would have been very disappointed in myself.
yeah. But most Kanakas like me, because I'm Native Hawaiian too, so I can relate. I wish there was more of a cultural,
She
maybe
does
her
have
other
a
work.
lot of, yeah, she does have a lot of other very
Oh, okay.
cultural heavy work.
I
Okay.
think the piece is very effective. I think it's super effective. Like it gives me a feeling without ever telling me what I'm supposed to be feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That
So, okay, I have a question then. It gives you a feeling.
Mm.
Um, and this was kind of like I was like, all right, is this Flash? I was like, is this a mood piece? You knew I was gonna say this.
Well, it was gonna, yeah.
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
The mood piece.
where's the
Because
hinge?
because
Where's
I
the
was like,
turn?
where's the transformation? Right? So like my first read, I was like, I was angry. because it didn't go the way I wanted it to. And then I was like, all right, Nina, relax. Because I thought it was going to be like a coffin nail story. Because
Mhm.
those first like four sentences, it's like a list of all of her failed selves, right? And then I thought that the last one was going to just like drive the nail in, but it just like almost deflated. And then I was like, is the deflation with that last line like an intentional failure of the Flash, like on purpose? So that's a question that I have for you guys because that makes it more interesting. I was like, okay, in my most generous self, like this got published. What like what am I not what am I not seeing, right? Like because I'm like a big transformation arc. I love that. Like that is really satisfying to me. And I didn't get that here. So then I was like, okay, like what is this doing? Because it just felt like this person was a victim. And that's
Melissa, I loved your piece, Melissa.
no, I'm not saying
I
I
I
didn't
think
love it. I'm saying like I guess what I'm saying is like I was trying to understand it, right? Because
Yes.
I come in with a certain expectation and I wasn't given like that wasn't satisfied in me. It's kind of like when science fiction readers don't get their science fiction story. They're like, "What is this?" So
Yeah.
I really recognize so Melissa, I really recognize that that this is the type of reader I am. But it also made me go in a little bit further and like look at that line and that last line does deflate. There is like a
Yeah.
there
Mhm.
is like a the ener because the energy you think you're like boom 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 and then you think something's gonna happen. You kind of have that feeling like something's gonna happen.
So I have a
what
couple thoughts.
oh, sorry.
No, Bill, what?
What if what if we called it creative nonfiction? How would you feel about
I think I'd feel the same way. I mean, I kind of read
it?
it as creative
Yeah,
nonfiction.
me too.
Okay. See, I
And
kind of feel like this is how life goes sometimes. You don't always get a nice hinge and a turn and a flash.
well, exactly. And that's where, like, I was trying to be like, okay, is this the art of it? Is this kind of what she's saying? Like, even this failure of the type. And I think, and is that maybe what that first, what the title is? The first word,
So I think
um, is
that
the, is the first word that she never got to write?
I think that first of all, there are stakes that are rising within the piece.
Yes.
So we start at an external identity being thwarted, and then we narrow into an internal identity. And by the end, I think one of the other things is we start with an institution that's failing her. Then we go to a mother that's failing her, and then it's
Mhm.
siblings, and then it's her
Sibling.
father,
Yeah.
and then it's nothing. That last line, there's no one fails her. And what's even more interesting is if you tag the three words that are the title to the very end of this piece,
The first word.
Oh,
Right. That's the loop.
it's a loop. Bill's mind just
how did I not see that? You just blew my mind.
Yeah.
and so I think that's the theme of this whole piece is that she does not have a voice, and it started, from institution to parent. But I think more importantly, it's these things that are like conditional around her that are happening, and then it gets very personal um halfway through, and things start happening to her that invade like her personal space and her privacy and her passion and her emotional safety, and then she can't even talk about it. That's taken from her. That's how I interpret it. I don't know if that answers your questions. It's so subtle.
It's so
Yeah.
right. It's so
Yeah.
That
It,
subtle.
it
And
it
that
it went
that
over
loop.
my head too as well. Like I didn't catch that it's circular, you know,
that title.
before she even types her first word. Yeah.
And so now it's like she's writing this piece because it's she's reclaiming herself as a writer despite
Mhm.
this. it is her first word. I mean,
Which
it's
is
not.
why it could be read as CNF, right? As
Yeah,
metafiction.
yeah. Um, but it is considered a flash piece, and I'm curious if you guys, because it took me maybe 15 reads before I was like, okay, I think this is the hinge. I think this is the flash. So if you had to pick something, what would you think would be the hinge first?
I think the hinge is that the last is the period
You think
at
it's
the
the
end of type. And because
oh,
once like everybody went as
uh-huh.
soon as we were talking about typing her first typing her first word. I don't know how to shut that off, you guys.
No,
Um
but it's the beauty of Zoom.
so but I think
Hinge.
that period is kind of like the point where everything flips and goes
Interesting.
onto itself because everything else is very much like a failed self.
Uh-huh.
Failed self, failed self. Although she's the one who sells the antique, the typewriter. She sold herself out at the end.
Does she? I'm wondering.
Yeah,
Yeah,
does
I
she?
don't get it
Yeah.
that's I don't feel like that's concrete. She's the one who sold it.
It's not
Right.
concrete. I feel like it's somebody, it seems like everybody else is at fault for
Well, that's
something.
why, yeah, that's why like that last line is so different from the other lines. And I'm wondering, yeah, was it she just gave up? Because then
Yeah.
that would definitely establish it
Mm.
as hinge or flash.
Hmm.
Did anybody else have a thought of where they would put the hinge?
I was gonna call the whole last line the hinge. Without the last line, the title doesn't work. And for me, the title, now that you pointed it out, is the Flash.
The title
But
is
now that,
so
but
good.
now, like, I think that's friggin' brilliant. Also, I think like her compression, like putting so much into each sentence, like from a craft standpoint, like
Yeah.
that's a really cool thing she was able to do.
There are other elements, yeah, of flash in this piece that are just so well done, regardless of how vague,
What?
subtle her flash and hinge are.
Oh,
So,
you guys are gonna hate my wig leaf submission. I'm not even sharing that.
oh, let's do it. I can't wait.
I like subtle. Obviously, I shared this piece.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I love
Yeah.
the common thread in it makes you go back and really dissect it more. Uh, it does lead it wanting because I was thinking that it was just jumping from item to item, and those items are all linked together. It's a song sheet, it's a diary, you know, it's a portable CD player. So there's music and creativity and all these inspirations that are part of her life. And I
It's
and I, I do think that there's definitely strategically and well placed in that order.
would we say that the common thread is self-expression and
I
identity?
would. I
Yeah.
would say that. I would say that it's creativity too. It's like anything that's creativity that fantasy books and all that stuff conjures imagination and inspiration. So, there's a light going on even and
Yeah.
then the juxtaposition is stuff is taken from her, like you said, the victimization.
Yeah.
Do you
Like
think
her
this is
first word was taken from her,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
What were you gonna say, Nina?
It just reminded me of the French, like the almost like the French anti-story. Is that I think there's a French word for it, but like in recognizing all the things I wanted from the story and seeing that they weren't there. So where's the voice of the main character? It's not there.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the main character's agency? It's not on the page. So it goes back to what Bill was talking about. Like there's a lot that's missing. And so I did spend a lot of time like in that kind of that absence, that erasure of those expectations. Really curious about it. Um, but it is subtle.
Yeah.
And
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 it's
she's relying on people to really, really think about the piece in order to understand it, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is definitely the intention.
Hmm. Because
So
she's
when you say hinge, I'm new to Flash style. What is a hinge?
Nina explains it better than any of us, so go ahead.
so Hinge is a little bit like you write poetry, right, Ross?
No, short story.
Short story.
I'm
So it's a little bit like the word but in a sentence. How once
mm,
you I loved everything about her outfit, but the outfit herself itself, right? So everything that comes after the word but reframes
mm,
that first part of the sentence. And so it's kind of like the volta, they call it the volta or the turn,
mm,
where your understanding is reshaped a little bit, like you're like, oh, okay. And that can also be the flash, but sometimes you get a turn which gives you a reframing and then you get a flash. Sometimes they can happen at the same time, but typically the idea is like that resonance, the way you guys all went, oh, the
yeah.
first word, right? So that's the thing that's now resonating.
Yes.
Did that,
Okay.
did I do it, Leah?
You
Yeah.
did, yes.
Okay.
And it's helpful to think of it as a hinge, like folding on itself. Um, it's when the piece, yeah, flips. You said it perfectly.
Okay.
Do we want to do some writing?
While we're here,
Okay.
let's
I
do it.
um I feel like so much new stuff has come up in even my own brain that I'm a little disappointed by this prompt, but it's fine. We'll just keep going with it because I don't have the capacity to change in the middle. So, in this piece, we unfold through a series of objects. Each one holds a moment in the narrator's life, and each one stops being what it was because of something changing around it. So, for step one of our prompt, I would like us to start by thinking of at least 5 to 7, that's a new number, moments from a life, your life, a character's life, someone you know, um,
A rabbit's life.
a rabbit's
Thank
life,
you.
Bill, when something should have happened but didn't, or at least something shifted slightly off course. So something unexpected happened, probably with some emotional resonance, such as warrant to a failed interview for a school, or a missed audition because your mother didn't pick you up,
Yeah.
or et cetera, et cetera. But just the moments. So 5 to 7 moments. And we'll take 10 minutes with that. Does that sound like enough time?
Hmm.
Okay, so I will call you guys back at 36. Oh, oh. Hello.
Hello.
How did that go?
It was a little hard at first, but then I got into it.
It
Yeah.
was
Same.
I
Same.
had to reframe and just think about all my failed selves, and then I was like, oh, okay, I'm on it now.
Totally.
I did get like very personal also. I didn't think I was going to. I was like, oh, I'll just do a character. And then I was like, oh, it's got sad.
I
All the
struggled on the opposite end. I couldn't get out of the personal and eventually got a chance to move to character. So
Does anybody have a line that they liked? One moment that they liked the best that they want to share?
I have characters giving a eulogy when the mic dies and no one hears it. And everybody just sees them standing up there with their lips moving, crying.
Mm.
Dang.
Wow. Nice.
Um, so the next step, sorry, will be for each moment that we've listed, we're going to ask ourselves and write down what is one object that holds that specific memory. In what object does the ghost of that moment live?
Mm.
And then because I'm doing, Ross, I don't know if you know this, I'm doing 100 days of writing short pieces every day. And I have 3 lists of 100 words, 100, what is it? I've forgotten. Um,
Objects,
Forms, yeah,
genre, and a
object genre,
constraint.
yes, and a constraint. So I've chosen an object for each of you that you have to try to pair with one of your memories, and it might get really weird. You don't have to do it, but it'll be a fun little side challenge. So, Bill, your number I rolled is 58, which is toenail clippings. Have fun with that. Um,
Okay.
Nina, you're 43, which is lock of hair. Ross, you got number 45, which is a ladder.
No.
Judy, if you're
That's a
following
good one,
along,
Ross.
it is he got like a normal one. Judy, if you're following along and you're writing, you got a broken watch, and
Took me
I
a
got
while.
95, which is a rusty nail. So, um, I'm gonna
So
do
we're
five.
gonna, so tell me again what we're
Yeah.
doing.
So for each moment of those 5 to 7 moments we've written down, we're going to find an object that holds the memory of that moment. So like missing your, or sorry, um, not getting into the school is held by the object of the dress. And what's another example? The torn song sheet is assigned
Hmm.
an object for the missed audition. The
Hmm.
CD player is, her parents care more about her sister than her, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
Okay.
And then the challenge is if a lock of hair can somehow apply to one of those for you, make it work. If you can't, you can't. It's okay. And then we'll just do 5 minutes for that because it's just like quick objects.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I make an observation?
Yeah.
It reminded me, the 6 word story, for sale, baby shoes never worn.
Yeah.
It just reminded me of this as I was doing my own.
Uh-huh. I
I
hadn't
was
even
like,
thought of that.
I was just thinking about that. It was because of the kind of that repetition of kind of failures with so much expectation. There, because she sets an expectation that
Mhm.
does not that does not that does not come through. Anyway, that was
It
just
also touches on Bill saying every line is its own chapter.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I'll call you back at 46. Here I'm back. Hello.
I'm back.
Hi, Bill. Nina got scared and ran away immediately.
Surprise ingredient in tonight's prompts. That's fun. I feel like we're on a cooking show.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your challenge, the 100 door challenge, is taking away time from some of your other projects? I was talking to Nina about this on Saturday, whatever day it was.
Yeah. My mother and my husband keep asking me why I'm not working on my book. And I say it all serves the book. I think it's helping me be a more confident writer. And overall, that's going to be helpful for me instead of overthinking things. I can just whip them out. So yes and no.
Made me consistent. It's made me have a better consistent practice, which has been
Yeah,
great.
exactly. That's all I really wanted. Okay, so were you guys able to put that challenge word into your moments? I'm curious.
In one of them.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so just since we're low on time, the next step is going to be to write the piece in its entirety, just as a list of the objects. But so how we're going to do that is for each one, so we've come up with these 5 to 7 moments, we will show the object as it is first, the moment that connects to it, and then how the object is discarded or transformed as a result of that moment. Does that make sense? This is me trying to make a formula.
It's okay. It's
Say it
actually
again.
kind of what I did already.
Okay, cool. So then if you've already done that, then the next thing would be to see if there's a way to arrange them so that the emotional stakes grow from start to finish, if they haven't already, or at least look into that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just take, how long do we want for that?
6 minutes.
6 minutes? Okay, we'll do 6 minutes. We'll come back at 55. And I'll put it, I've been putting all of these in the chat so you can reference them. I thought that the rusty nail was going to be like the easiest one, and then it just got weird. I was so stoked.
This was fun. I'm happy. I'm
Yay.
happy. Yeah, it was fun.
It is fun to think about all the failures. Just like, let's get into it.
Oh,
Let's
all the
just list
biggest, my
them,
biggest fears and failures and neuroses.
right?
Oh,
But like if we just name them, then they're just out there, right?
true.
It diffuses them.
And if you have objects for them, you can just shove them in the objects and throw them out the window, and
Yeah.
then they're no longer yours. Um, yeah, I realized my common thread was just like a bunch of missed opportunities, and I'm kind of sad. It's fine though. It got very
But
personal.
what's the one? I didn't get to the point where I got to rewrite it the way she did,
Yeah,
right?
mine took a kind of a turn, but
I don't know that it needs to be
away from that.
repeated. Yeah. How did you do it, Bill?
Um, the objects didn't really bubble to the surface as strongly as I had hoped, and really it was more of a person's 3 biggest moments in their life where they went unheard.
Hmm.
They missed their chance to sing a karaoke song because they were in the bathroom. The mic went out at the eulogy, and nobody heard the eulogy. And then they were confessing their greatest sin to a priest who had fallen asleep. But I worked in toenails, Paula Abdul, and the word slut bag. So I'm feeling pretty good about tonight.
Wow.
Slut bag. I
They
hope
seem
slut bag.
related.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I hope Paula Abdul and slut bag don't go together
Oh
because
no, not Paula Abdul.
because
And root beer floats also made it in there.
Nice.
Woo.
Really want one since I wrote that.
Yeah, my gosh.
Where did the toenails go?
And the root beer floats as a revenge because goddamn sister sang my
Ooh.
karaoke song, Paula Abdul, while I was
Oh,
in the bathroom.
Ah, nice.
I had a crush on a boy in 5th grade who collected his nail clippings. That'll probably make it into my story when I get that
That's
word.
that's
Was
crush
was that
worthy.
a deal breaker?
No, it was, I still, no. I was like, you're wonderful. We went to Great America and rode on a bunch of roller coasters, and then um went back to his parents' bakery, and then went to his house, and he showed me his collection of toenails, and I was like, you're so cool. Uh,
And how old were you?
5th grade. I was like 10.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
not a deal breaker then. Now, maybe.
That's cool when you're 10, I guess.
Yeah, it's something. Anyway, thank you everyone for being here.
thanks,
We
Thank
Lee.
you, Leah.
1 more minute. Does anybody want to say anything?
It was a fun
grapple.
exercise. Got me started on a whole different track of how to link things together,
Cool.
objects and stuff, driving the narrative. So,
I'm glad. That's what I wanted. Next week we'll have a more traditional flash piece, and you can get a better example of what a hinge is. So you should definitely come
um,
join us
okay.
Thursday. And Nina will be teaching it, so it'll be substantially better in all ways.
I don't think so.
Self
I felt like I learned so much from this
deprecation
one,
is my thing.
actually. Like it
Thank you.
frustrated me, but I actually felt like I learned something. Like it challenged me to really
Yeah,
think about it.
that's what we all need.
Yeah.
Challenged.
So I
Okay,
liked it.
well,
What
Okay.
was the
Well, yeah, thank
aha
you.
moment for you, Nina, then as you were being challenged? What was the challenging moment as you were writing?
You mean as I was reading the story or as I was doing my own?
Doing your own.
Um, this one, I don't know that I was able to get to the aha moment because I was thinking, do I want to not be subtle? I'm not subtle. I'm not a subtle person. So, and I was like, can I be subtle? I don't know. So like for me to try and be subtle might be like maybe I could try it. But I didn't get to the hinge. I couldn't figure out, it had to get, she goes into the old typewriter. It's about voice and the creative self,
mhm.
right? So I hadn't come up with the object yet that would tie it to, I just have like, a victim on the page right now. I
Yeah.
don't have one where she gets to this character gets to kind of rethink themselves.
Well, if anybody keeps this going, I think it would be fun once you feel like it's finished to cut off the last three words and see if you can use it as your title. That could
Okay.
be a fun challenge too. I don't know
Okay.
how practical that is. It just popped into my head.
Okay. It doesn't have to be 3 words.
No, it can be whatever number of words.
Oh, Ross and Judy, you guys should know that one rule of Flash Club is that you don't have to do what the person who's teaching it tells you to do.
You can ignore me
I thought you were
entirely.
saying we don't talk about Flash Cup.
No,
No,
talk
we talk
about
about
it to
Flash Club all
all
the
of your
time.
friends.
Well,
Tell everyone. All right.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
thanks, guys.
See you
Bye.
later.
Ciao. Nice to
Thank
see you
you.
all.
Rules.
Take care.